Yo, what is good YouTube? I'm Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the AE1 Low. Before we get started, if y'all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and also please hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the AE1 Low features the exact same traction pattern as the regular AE1. And what you're gonna get is basically like this really wide herringbone traction pattern. And just like in the highs or the mids, the lows perform very, very well. If you're gonna be playing on your clean courts, you really aren't gonna have any issues. If you're playing on your dustier courts, you still won't have too many issues. Maybe like the slight wipe here and there, and you're gonna be good to go. This particular colorway does have a solid rubber outsole, and yeah, it still performs great. I'm going to take a guess and say that the semi-translucent slash like the milky-ish color, those color outsoles will perform a little bit better because that was my experience in the mids or highs. So I'm going to assume it's the same, but either way, this particular colorway still had great traction. So moving on to the cushion, this is where the AE1 Low differs from the regular AE1. I believe in the AE1, it featured like a combination of Light Strike and Jet Boost, whereas in here, you have a combination of Light Boost and Light Strike or some other foam. And basically what you have is that Light Strike or whatever the other foam is a carrier foam. And the Jet Boost is actually segmented in pods. So you have a slab here and a slab in the forefoot. So one in the heel, one in the forefoot. And let me tell you that this cushion setup is very, very responsive and low to the ground. Like, I thought the AE1s felt pretty responsive, but this just takes it to another level. So I would definitely say this is more of a dead cushion setup. You may have very, very minimal like impact protection in the shoe. This is definitely like a guard like shoe for, you know, those people who like to be very, very quick and shifty. Like I said, this is a very, very low to the ground feeling shoe. And personally, I like it. I wish there was definitely more like impact protection in the shoe, but it does still feel good enough for me. But if you like, you know, a moderate amount of impact protection or more, this probably isn't it, because this is definitely like a low to the ground feeling shoe. And if that's not what you want, then this is probably not it. But me personally, I really do like the Light Boost setup in here, as I really feel very, very quick. So moving on to the materials, the AE1 Low features pretty much the exact same materials as the regular AE1. What you're gonna get is you're gonna have like this rubber TPU shell that pretty much encompasses most of the shoe. You will have like your textile areas. On this particular pair, this colorway I should say, you have like this hit of 3M material rather than that like felt material on the toe box, which I personally prefer this because the felt felt very cheap. But yeah, and then as you move towards the back, you know, you still have the rubber and you still have like that textile that wraps around the heel. And you still have this same fake carbon fiber. It is fake, it's just plastic heel counter in the back. Moving to the tongue, this is actually kind of where they changed things up a little bit in the materials. First off, the lace structure over here. On the regular AE1, you actually have additional lace holes right here. And they really don't do anything. And because of how it's like actually set up, it's very hard to kind of manipulate those lower laces. So if you wanted it tighter or looser, you really couldn't change that. And it kind of sucked. But on here, you can actually tighten up the bottom laces. And this pretty much laces up like a traditional shoe, which is awesome. But yeah, moving back to the materials, you do have like that same neoprene style tongue. It has very minimal padding, but I didn't really feel, you know, too much lace pressure when I cranked down my laces. So you should be good to go there. Overall material usage on here, exact same. Like, I think it's perfectly fine and it performs very, very well. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the AE1 Low fits pretty similar to the regular AE1. I will say though that it seems like it is a little bit more snug in the low compared to the regular version. I think it has to do with like the heel padding in here. It just feels like a little bit more supportive in the back area, which potentially pushes your foot forward a little bit. But me personally, like, I still think these run a little bit long. So I'm a slightly wide footer. I went true to size and I still felt pretty good. I didn't, you know, it felt overall very secure on my foot. I will say though, you know, if you do have like normal feet or skinny feet, you might be able to go down a half size and it'll fit very, very nicely on your foot. Me as a slightly wide footer, I went true to size and these felt very good. If you do have wider feet, I would suggest you all go true to size. And if you have really wide feet, maybe go up a half size. But I do think if you did go up a half size, these might be just a little bit too long. In terms of the width of the shoe, like I said, I went true to size. I'm a slightly wide footer. I felt perfectly fine. Another thing that is different about this compared to the regular version of the AE1 is this is not a half booty upper. This is a completely separated tongue. It doesn't have like a lace loop or anything to kind of hold the tongue in place. So you might feel your tongue like kind of shifting sometimes. It didn't really happen to me that much, maybe like once or twice. Personally, I think it is a welcome change because that kind of came along with like this new lace design, which just allows you to customize the fit a little bit better. But yeah, you know, overall fit was good. So my suggestion is normal feet or narrow feet, probably go down a half size. Slightly wide feet, you know, you could go true to size, and then really wide feet, maybe true to size or up a half size. Just keep in mind, if you do go up that half size, they will probably be a little bit long. So moving on to the support, the AE1 low has great support, just like the regular AE1. You do have an external heel counter. This does have like additional heel padding, at least it feels like it. So I didn't have any heel slippage in the shoe, which is awesome because most Adidas shoes, for some reason, at least for me, have some sort of heel slippage, but this is not one of those, which is great. When it comes to side-to-side movement on the footbed, you're gonna be covered there. The materials do a great job of making sure your foot is nice and planted. You're not gonna be sliding around. When it comes to hard lateral movements, you're also gonna be covered there as well. This is a very wide base, and this midsole does protrude out a little bit to act as an outrigger. And then when it comes to torsional rigidity and stability, you do have a shank plate in here, so you're gonna be covered on that front. Overall, the support in the AE1 low is very, very good, and I had absolutely zero issues. So the AE1 low retails for $110. And for $110, I would say this is a great shoe. This is definitely not gonna be a shoe for everyone. And you know, a lot of people are gonna ask, is the regular AE1 better than the AE1 low? And it really does come down to personal preference. Like me personally, the cushion is definitely not as nice as the regular AE1, but I think overall for me, this does feel a little bit better on foot. It just feels less bulky. You know, this is a lighter shoe. And also something I really didn't like in the AE1 is the fact that the tongue would actually like scrunch up a little bit. And also as a slightly wide footer, it was a complete pain in the ass for me to get my foot in that shoe. It does get better over time, but still it's not a comparison when I play in the AE1 low. Like it is extremely easy for me to just put the shoe on and go. Whereas in the regular AE1, I really couldn't do that. So really, I think the defining factor is, do you want more cushion or do you want less cushion? Like, do you want to feel lighter and more responsive and quick? Or do you want a little bit more of that impact protection and bounciness, you know? So me personally, I like the AE1 low more. It just feels better for me. But either way, if you get the low or the regular version, you really aren't going to get a bad performing shoe. But me personally, I just like the low a little bit better. If you all wanted to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. And please hit that thumbs up button for me, leave a comment. It really does help me out. While you all are at it, check out these videos over here. And that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.